Dear students, today I'll be teaching a new topic, that is processing directive. Let us understand what is pre-processing or preprocessor. The preprocessor is a program that processes a source code before it passes through the compiler. The preprocessor executes before a program is compiled. Then what is the meaning of preprocessing statement? So these are the statements are processed before the program is compiled. So that is called as preprocessing statement. They are executed before the actual compilation of the program begins. Therefore, the preprocessor expands all the directives and takes corresponding action before any code is generated by the program statements. Actually, a preprocessor is not part of compiler. It is a separate step in compilation process. So, preprocessing will be executed before the program is being compiled. The preprocessor statement always begin with hash symbol, and they are used before main function. Now let us see what are the advantages of pre-processing statements or preprocessors. Advantages: first one, program becomes readable and easy to understand. Second, program can be easily modified or updated. Third, program becomes portable as it makes easy to compile program in different execution environments. Program becomes efficient to use. Now let us see what are the different types of preprocessor directives. So preprocessor directives are classified into two categories. First one, conditional directives. Second one, unconditional directive. So in conditional directive, after checking certain condition, we include the preprocessing statement. So that is, conditional directives are used to instruct preprocessor whether or not include a chunk of code in final token stream passed to the compiler. Whereas in unconditional directive, no condition will be tested here. So they perform a well-defined task. Now let us see what are the different unconditional directives. So there are 6 unconditional directives, namely hash define, hash line, hash undef, hash include, hash error, hash pragma. So these are unconditional directives. And there are 6 conditional directives. They are hash if, hash else, hash elif, hash if df, hash if ndf, hash ndif. So let us begin with hash define. So hash define preprocessor directive are used to define the macro. Let us understand what is macro. So macro is nothing but it is similar to small function. So in fact macros are called as inline function. So what do you mean by inline function? So inline functions are the small functions, and whenever that function is called, the function call itself is replaced with the body of the function or the function definition. So that is called as inline function. So macros are similar to the inline function. So now let us see the syntax of hash define. So it will begin with hash define followed by an identifier, then replacement text. So whenever this particular line appears in a file, all subsequent occurrence of the identifier that do not appear in a string later will be replaced by the replacement text automatically before the program is pre-compiled. Now let us take a simple example to demonstrate hash define. So we have taken a program to find the area of circle. Here we make use of hash define. The formula to calculate area of circle is pi r square. Here the value of a pi can be defined before main function, and it can be used anywhere in the program. Now let us see. So this program begins with a pre-processing directive or statement, that is hash include stdio.h. So this statement we already used many times and we discussed it many times. So what is this hash include stdio.h? So this is a directive, pre-processing directive, which includes the header file called stdio.h. We all know that stdio.h is the header file, standard input output header file, which is providing standard input output functions like printf, scanf, getf, putf, geth, puth. So these functions, if you want to use in the program, then you must include the definitions of those functions which are defined in stdio.h within this program. So that is the significance of hash include stdio.h. So this statement will include the contents of the file stdio.h in this program before the program is being compiled. So that is also one of the pre-processing statement. The next statement is hash define. So this is a preprocessor. So let us see the syntax here. We begin with hash define followed by an identifier. So identifier, we have taken this program is pi. Then the replacement text. The the pi that you want to replace in the program with the value 3.1415. So that is the replacement text you want to take here. So the string 3.1415 is replaced in every occurrence of the pi. And now let us take the main function. So inside the main function, we are declaring certain variables like int radius, float area, printf. We are printing a message for the user, that is enter the radius. We read the radius with the help of scanf statement. Here we are reading the radius here. Next, we are calculating area of circle. So we use the formula pi r square, that is the area is equal to pi into radius into radius. Suppose that if you enter radius as 3, now let us see how the area will be computed. So the statement here is area is equal to pi into radius. What is this pi? So pi is basically a preprocessor statement. So that is the defined using the hash defined preprocessor directive, and the replacement text taken here is 3.1415. So this pi will be replaced with its text or a value, that is 3.1415 before this program is compiled. Then it is multiplied with radius into radius. Finally we print the radius, we get output as 28.27. So the value of pi will be replaced in the particular expression before this program is being compiled. So that is how we can make use of hash defined preprocessor directive. Now let us move on to the hash include that I have already explained. So it is a preprocessor directive used to inform the preprocessor to treat the contents of a specified file as if those contents had already appeared in the source program. It means using hash include directive, we can include contents of a file in the current source program before the program is compiled. So there are two formats of hash include. First one, we can make use of hash include followed by file name, which is put into a pair of angle brackets. Second one, it is also hash include followed by file name, but it is put into a pair of double quotes. Now we need to understand what is the difference between these two formats. When we include file using angular brackets or angle brackets, then search is made for the file name in the standard list of system directories. So if we use hash include with angular brackets, then the specified file name will be searched in the standard list of system directories or folders. And when we include double quotes, then preprocessor searches for the specified file name in the standard directories and also in the current directory where this file is stored. So that is the difference between these two. So let us understand the hash include stdio.h. I already explained. So it's a header file and its contents will be placed in the program before that program is compiled. Now let us move on to the next one, that is the hash line. So this directive enables user to control the line numbers within the code file as well as the file name that appears when error take place. The syntax of this particular directive is it will begin with hash line followed by line number and the third value is file name. Here the line number is the new line number that will be assigned to the next line of the code. Okay, here in a file already there are some statements present or lines present here, and the compiler will be assigning a line number starting from 1, and if we want to change the line number, then we can make use of this particular line directive. Here line numbers of successive lines will be increased by 1 by 1 from this point onwards. The parameter file name is the optional parameter that redefines the file name that will appear in case of an error. The file name must be enclosed within double quotes. Now let us move on to the next one, that is hash undef. So this is opposite to hash define. So this directive undefines or removes the macro, so that is previously created by hash define. The syntax of undefined is it will begin with hash undef then macro name. So this is a macro already created using hash define. If we want to remove that macro from the program, then we can make use of hash undef. It means hash undef is followed by macro name that is to be undefined. So let us take a simple program to demonstrate hash undef. So in this particular program, we begin with a pre-processing directive, that is hash include stdio.h. So this statement will include the contents of file stdio.h before the program is compiled, which is containing the definitions of standard input-output functions like printf, scanf, getTest, puttest, getch, putch. So definitions of these functions will be included in the program. Then the program is being compiled. So that is what hash include stdio.h. The next line is the hash define. You are defining a macro here, that is hash define. The macro name is max here, and the replacement text is 100, or the value is 100. Then we have the main function. Inside the main function, okay, we got the printf. Let us print the value of max here. First, defined value for max. So there is a placeholder with the type identifier as %3. So that is replaced with max. So here before this program is compiled or executed, the value of max will be substituted here. The max is defined as 100, so that will be placed here. So we'll get output as first a defined value for max as 100, and after that we are using hash undef max. So this statement will undefine the max here. So the max will be removed from the code here. Again we are using a hash define to change the value of max. So the old value of max was removed here, and a new max has been defined with a new value that is 100. Hence the value of max after undef we got it as 600. So that is how we can make use of hash undef to remove the macro which is previously created with hash define. Now let us move on to the next one, that is hash error. So hash error is a directive used to display user defined error message during compilation of program. The syntax is given like this. This is hash if not defined an identifier, then display error using this syntax. It will begin with hash error directive followed by error message, then end if. So we will be discussing about if and end if later on. but we'll be using this particular program here. Now let us take a program to display user-defined error message using hash error directive during compilation of the program. So as usual, we'll begin with hash include stdio.h. Then next pre-processing directive is hash define b1. So you are defining a macro called b with the value 1. Then inside the main function, so we are using hash if. So this is basically conditional macro. So there will be some condition checked. Okay. So it will begin with hash if. So what is the condition? It is not operator defined a. If a is not defined, it means if a is not defined. Okay. So then we display error message during compilation of this program. So how to do that? The syntax is very simple. It will begin with hash error, then the error message that you want to display. So that is a macro a is not defined, else otherwise we print macro is defined or macro found. So this is hash end. So in this particular program we define macro b, not a. So this particular condition will be true here, and it will print a error message during compilation, that is macro a is not defined. So this particular statement will be executed. So that is the error message we get during compilation, not during execution. Macro a is not defined. So these statements are processed before the program is being compiled. It means during compilation this error we get here, not during execution. During compilation only we'll get a error message saying that macro is not defined. Now let us move on to the next one, that is the hash pragma. So this directive is used to control the actions of compiler in a particular portion of program without affecting the program as a whole. It sets or resets a certain warning or errors during compilation of program. The syntax of pragma is like this. It will begin with hash pragma, then warn plus triple X. So triple X is the message, warning message that you want to enable, that you want to display, and so it will turn on the warning message. This plus symbol indicates that it will turn on the warning message. So triple X is the warning message that you want to display, and plus symbol will enable the warning message. So similarly, let us use syntax to turn off the warning message. The syntax is the same as above, but instead of plus we have to make use of minus. So minus symbol will turn off the warning message. Now let us see what are the different pragma names can be used with error messages. Pragma name, so that is assigned a value but never used, and warning on can be indicated like this, that is plus AUS. AUS stands for we assigned a value to the variable but it never used in the program. So that is the warning message we get for this particular plus AUS. And if you want to turn up this particular warning message, then we make use of minus symbol here, minus followed by AUS. Similarly, there is a error message, possible use before definition. So using before actually it is defined. So that is a warning message. If you want to enable that, then we'll use the plus df. If you want to disable that, we'll make use of minus df. The next pragma is for error messages, declared but never used. You have declared a variable but never used. And if you want to turn on this particular warning message, then we make use of plus use. If you want to turn off this, then we make use of minus use. Now let us see a program to demonstrate the use of pragmas. So we'll begin with hash include stdio.h. Then there are three pragmas we have included in this particular program. So these all are the pre-processing directives. So first one, hash pragma. warn minus AUS. What is minus AUS? It is basically indicates the values assigned but never used. So minus indicates this message we don't want to display. We want to turn off this particular warning message. Next one, hash pragma warn minus DF. What is DF? Possible use before definition. So you want to turn off this particular warning. Next, hash pragma warn minus use. It indicates a declared variable but never used. So that is the warning message, but you want to suppress this. You want to remove this. So we make use of minus use here. Then we have the main function. Inside the main function, we are declaring variables like int x equal to 2, comma y, comma z. So then we have got the printf where y is equal to %c, comma y. So this particular code, here x is initialized to 2, but it is never used in the program. Okay, so for this we should get a warning. X is assigned a value but never used. But we don't get this particular error because we have taken it as a minus symbol here. So AUS is basically used for the error message, that is values assigned but never used. But in this particular case, you want to suppress this particular warning. If you take it as plus, you will get a warning saying that x is assigned a value but never used, which is never used in the program. But because of this minus, that error will be suppressed. And in this printf, we are displaying the value of 5, but the y is never defined. The value is not assigned to y, but still you want to display the value of 5. It indicates that the y is declared, but it is not yet defined. Until we assign a value to y, that variable will not be defined. So this printf is basically trying to display y, which is not defined. So actually you should get a error here, that is a warning message here, that is warning error here, that is using y before defining. But because of this, that error message will be, or warning message will be suppressed, that is hash pragma warn minus df. It means so whatever the message we used to get, that message will be suppressed. The next one is the variable z is declared but never used. Okay, so for that there is a pragma defined there, that is hash pragma warn minus use. So this statement basically will suppress the warning message, that is variable z is declared but never used. If you take plus here, I would have got a warning message from the compiler saying that variable z is declared but never used. Now let us move on to the next one, that is use of conditional pre-processing directives. So these include hash if, hash elif, hash else, and hash end if. The most frequently used conditional directives are hash if, hash elif, hash else, and hash end if. These directives allow the programmer to include the portion of code based on the condition. Some portion of code you want to include in the program, but after checking certain condition. The compiler compiles selected portion of source code based on the conditions. So let us begin with the first one, that is hash if. So it is used to control the compilation portion of a source file. If the specified condition has non-zero value, so it is taken as true here, then the control text immediately followed by hash if directive is executed. Otherwise it is not executed. So let us see the syntax of hash if here. Hash if followed by condition control text. So this is something like a condition. If the condition is true, then the text that is followed by hash if will be executed, and it ends with hash end if. Now let us take else here. So else directive can be used with the control text of if directive to provide alternative text to be displayed if the condition is false. So this is something like the if else statement that we already used in C program. Now let us take the syntax of if else pre-processing directive. So it will begin with hash if condition. If this condition is true, then the control text one will be processed or executed. Otherwise, if the condition is true, then we have got the else here. It is indicated as hash else. Then control text 2 will be executed and it ends with hash end if. There is one more here, that is hash elif. So this is something called else if that we used already in the C program. It is used when there are more than two possible alternatives. So else is providing if else is providing two alternatives. If there are more than two alternatives, then we can make use of ELI, that is something like else if directive. Now let us look at the syntax of ELI. So here we begin with hash if, then certain condition. If the condition is true, then the controlled text one will be processed. If the condition is false, we go to next one. There we will find hash ELIF. So this is something like else if. If the condition is not true, then we will go to new condition, that is ELI if new condition. If the new condition is evaluated true, then controlled text will be processed. Else condition and new condition, if both are not correct, not true, then finally it will go to else directive. Then it will process controlled text 3. Then finally we have hash endef. So this actually behaves like else if ladder that we used in the conditional statement of C program. Now we'll begin with the hash. Now we'll take the hash and if. The syntax is very simple. It is taken at the end of if here, that is hash and if. It is used to end the conditional compilation directives. Now let us take a simple program to illustrate the concept of conditional directives. So this program will begin with hash include stdio.h. Then we have the pre-processing directive hash defined. It defines max to 100. Then inside the main function, we are making use of conditional directive. So here we'll begin with hash if, and the condition is max equal to 100. It will check whether the max equal to 100. If that is correct, then the statement executed or processed here is printf correct. If max is not equal to 100, it will go to else directive. Then it will execute this printf where it prints wrong. This is end if. So in this particular program, so max is 100. So here the max is replaced with 100. Then this condition becomes true. If that is true, then this printf is executed, that is printing output as correct. If you define max as suppose 200, then 200 will be placed here in place of max. So this condition is false here. Then it will go to else and it executes printf to print output as wrong. Next one, if df. If df is basically check the existence of defined macro. It actually can be interpreted like if defined. The syntax is like this: hash if defined, then the identifier of the macro. So these are the statements executed if the specified macro is defined. Else statement 3 and statement 4 are executed. That is when the specified macro is not defined. Let us take a simple program to demonstrate this. So we'll begin with hash include stdio.h followed by hash define max 100. You are defining a macro with the name max with the value or a text as 100. So inside the main function, we are using this particular directive here, that is the hash if df max. So it will check whether the macro max has been defined or not. In this particular program, it has been defined. If it is defined, so this printf will be executed. If it is not defined, it will go to else and this printf will be executed. So since the max macro has been defined, it will go to this printf and the execution of printf will print max is defined. So if this max is not defined, it will go to else and execute this printf and it will print max is not defined. So this statement should end with hash and if. The next one is hash if ndf. So this is opposite to hash df. N stands for not. It will check the existence of macro definition. If it is not defined, it indicates if not defined. The syntax is like this: if ndf, if not defined the macro identifier, then these two statements are executed. If it is not defined, otherwise statement 3 and 4 executed. If the macro, the specified macro is defined, so these statements are executed. If it is not defined, these two statements are executed. Now let us take a simple program to demonstrate this. Hash include stdio.h, hash define. We are defining a macro max with the value 100. Inside the main function, we have taken hash if ndf max. It indicates if max is not defined, then we execute this printf where it is going to print line number is 1, else it is going to print line number is 2. In this particular program, check whether the max is defined or not. So this printf is executed only when the max is not defined. But in this program, max is defined with the value 100. So this is not correct. It will go to else here and it is printing line number 2 because max is, the macro max is defined. So line number 1 is printed only when the macro max is not defined. But in this program, since it is defined, we get output as line number 2. So this is the end of pre-processing directives and also end of module number 5. Thank you.